Hi again, everyone. Ed the Finance Guy. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate the good response. You want to email any questions to me, ed1959@usa.com. Let's begin. Today I want to speak about stimulus packages. That's all we're hearing about. Go on Google, go on YouTube. Everyone has a different idea for stimulus packages. They're voting on this, they're voting on that. When will it happen? Will it happen? Every single day I'm hearing something about it. So I did some research, looked around, and I still believe what's going to happen with stimulus packages is they're going to direct them at people that specifically need the money. For example, landlords. Landlords are not able to collect their rent. Many people are not paying rent. Many people are taking advantage of the fact that they don't have to pay rent because they know they're not going to be kicked out. But people are getting evicted in a lot of states right now. It's very, very big in many states. So there have to be some kind of a program directed at landlords, which I believe is going to happen. And they're also mentioning people that earn less than $40,000 a year would get an extra stimulus check, that $1,200 a person plus $500 per child. And you're also reading in the paper, people are going to get $2,000 a month every month for the next 6 months, which I don't believe will happen. But there has to be something. And I know there'll be something because there's a lot of problems going on right now. First problem is the pandemic unemployment, which is $600 a month, is coming to an end. Now, it really was crazy that they came up with this program to begin with because they have the PPP program and that's supposed to be used to keep people on payroll. But when you're giving people $1,000 a month unemployment, it's very hard to keep people working. When you're an employee and you're making $200 a week or $250 a week, you're getting now $125 unemployment and $600 pandemic, the PUA, pandemic unemployment. So then you're getting $800 a week. Why do you want to go back to work? You're making more not working than working. So the whole program really kept people away from working and made more people become unemployed because of the extra $600. But now people have relied on that $600 for the last 10 weeks. And now July 31st is rolling along. It's over. So how are people going to pay their bills getting $200 a week in unemployment? They're going to have a problem. So that's going to be a very big issue. People that lose that pandemic money, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. So there has to be a stimulus program for those people. Also, there's a forbearance agreement of 3 months where mortgage companies said you don't have to make a payment for three months. Don't worry about it. But what's going to happen is in the fourth month, they're going to want to know where their that back monthly mortgage payment, how come we didn't get a check for 4 months? So that's going to bring a lot of people into loan modification, which I did videos on loan modification and I have more coming out on loan modification. If you have a mortgage, you can't afford to pay it, you can always negotiate with the bank to lower the interest rate, get some kind of a special deal, have money that you owe add to the back of the loan. That's loan modification. But that's going to happen because the forbearance agreement of 3 months is running out very soon. And there's also a forbearance agreement on student loans. People aren't making student loans for 3 months. So that period is going to be ending too, which is another reason I think there'll be some kind of a stimulus package coming out for those people, the ones that have student loans, the ones that can't pay their mortgage, the ones that can't pay their rent. So I think the stimulus program will go directly to these particular cases. There's also a moratorium on evictions in New York and from rental properties. So if the building has a federally backed mortgage like Fannie Mae, those type mortgages, in July, the end of July, I think the 25th of July, is when that moratorium is over. So if you're living in that type of a building, you could be evicted. So like I said, many states have already started eviction process. New York hasn't, but they will very shortly. So there has to be money coming to people just based on that, how they'll be able to keep paying their rent. And the last one is the unemployment rate is at record numbers. I mean, they're anticipating there being, for the next 12 months, millions of people on unemployment. And certainly for the next July, August, September, the number will be 25 million people. So if the regular unemployment check is $200-300, who can afford that? Who can afford to live? Food, expenses, rent, car, insurance, credit cards. It's not enough money. So I'm predicting this week they're going to come across with some kind of a stimulus package that's going to help people. The HEROES Act could have extended that pandemic unemployment, that $600, but they voted and the Republicans objected. People didn't want to go back to work, which is why they ended up not extending that $600 program. They're saying 2/3 of the people that are unemployed are making more money than when they were employed. So it's a program that maybe it's considered a failure to some, but if you're unemployed, you need that money. So you can't really look at other people's situation and say those people shouldn't get it. These people, oh, they're not working. They should. Listen, everybody has a chance to be unemployed in their life. Everybody could lose their business. How many stores have closed in the last few months? They used to be very successful businesses, and all of a sudden, they're not allowed to have people come in. They're out of business. And there are a lot of companies like that. 400 Subway sandwich shops are closing. You see JCPenney's closing. Who would ever think these companies would close? So you never know. There before the grace of God go I. So it could be you that lost your job. So don't look around and say, well, those people shouldn't collect because they're unemployed, they're not working, they're bums. Don't look at it like that. A lot of people are unemployed. They want to work. There are a lot of people that graduated college that are having problems finding jobs. It's very tough out there. It's going to continue to be tough, and the government has to come up with money. There's no question about it. They have to come up with some kind of a program that we're talking about. If you promise not to take your Social Security until a certain age, they would give you some money now. Maybe you could borrow money against your Social Security that you're going to get 20, 30 years down the road. There has to be some kind of a program where people could get enough money to survive. They're not traveling anymore. You don't see people buying cars anymore. They're not going on cruises. It's not like people are getting money from the government and blowing it on ridiculous things. They're using it for basic necessities: food, insurance, shelter. That's what they need. They need the money for these things. So I believe in the next, I think this week is the week they're going to be voting to see what they're going to do. And I believe they're going to come up with another $1 trillion package to help people. I know that these programs help my clients. The EIDL and the PPP helped all my clients stay in business. Now, the problem is the money is running out. So I'm sure in the next month or two, they're going to have a program like that as well to help the businesses, because they can't have all the small businesses closed. And if you look at shopping centers, you see 30% of them have closed. You see people moving out in the middle of the night so they don't have to pay rent. They take all of their inventory and they leave. So the situation is getting pretty grave. So I expect something good, that the government will do something this week. Donald Trump wants to get reelected, so he's going to come up with another program to come up with money. The question is, where's this money coming from? Nobody knows. The debt keeps getting higher and higher, but at this point, there's really nothing that could be done. If the debt gets higher, but people survive it, that's what's going to be important. And there are a lot of companies out there that are looking for cures, and if you follow different stocks like I do, there are a lot of companies out there that are talking about having a vaccine, having medication for the pandemic. And I'm hoping in the next 6 months we can find some kind of a cure or something to slow this disease down and things can get better in the world again. So again, I appreciate everyone tuning in. And I do like people commenting, emailing me at 1959@usa.com. If you have any questions, send them in. I definitely will try to help you as soon as possible. This is Ed the Finance Guy saying stay safe, got my mask, be smart, subscribe, share the video. Have a great day and keep tuning in, keep listening. Thanks again.